Hi, and welcome to Watch It or Don't. Tom and Dan today reviewing The End of the Tour. It's the newest movie from James Ponsoldt, who also did The Spectacular Now. It stars Jason Segel as real-life author David Foster Wallace, who is famous for writing Infinite Jest. This film takes place in the mid-90s, over a couple days at the end of his book tour. And David Foster Wallace is followed by a Rolling Stone reporter named David Lipsky, played by Jesse Eisenberg.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole movie takes place over these last couple of days, and it's mostly just interviews between Lipsky and Foster Wallace. And it's a very unique film where it's mostly just these characters talking about life, talking about fame, talking about literature.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of all over the place, and, you know, some of the interview questions are actually, you know, biographical information about David Foster Wallace, and some of them are just, you know, what do you think on this topic? And it's just very conversational. There's not a lot to the movie. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And it's just David Foster Wallace kind of focuses on loneliness and the state of the modern world and kind of where that's heading. And I know, at least for me, there's kind of a lot to relate as far as you know his character goes, because he was an almost tragic figure. You know, I mean, well, he was a tragic figure dealing with depression and got this huge success and didn't know how success affected his life.
Right.
And at the same time, David Lipsky wants that fame. He wants that success.
Right, as the reporter.
Right.
Yeah, I'll say this right away. Jason Segel's not really usually known for these dramatic roles, but he knocks us out of the park,
Really,
I think. He looks
really
exactly like David Foster Wallace. He's got the long hair and the bandana. I don't know David Foster Wallace as well, so I can't speak as to how the character lines up, but it seems like a real person. It seems like a real character, and he's both, you know, funny and sad, and it's like he's got this torment from being so successful. He doesn't know if he should accept it or if he should just shy away from it.
And one of the kind of interesting points he brings up is that, like, he doesn't know how to meet women because he never feels like it's sincere, because it always feels like it's related to fame, and that kind of, it pulls at him, and that's just, you know, kind of one instance of how it changed his life so much.
Yeah, it's a really interesting movie, and it's got a lot of cool things to say.
Yeah.
And it definitely makes you think afterwards.
Right.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go into ratings. I think you might be a little higher on this than I am.
Yeah. I'm giving this movie a great, and kind of the only thing stopping me from going amazing is just that it's a really simple film, and so there's not a lot of really impressive filmmaking techniques in it. It's just kind of, you know, unnoticeable, really, and so it's not by any means a poorly directed movie, but it's nothing that is, you know, absolutely, you know, the best work of the year or anything. But it rates pretty high for me, I think, on my list of favorite movies this year.
Yeah, I'm giving this a 7.9 out of 10, which is pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. For me, the thing that doesn't get it over the top is kind of like what you said, is like the script for this movie is great, but I feel like, and the performances are good too.
They are, yeah.
But I feel like I could have just read the script and gotten the same out of it than watching the movie. Or I could have read the actual interview, or I could have read the book. There's nothing about the movie that really sets it apart from other mediums. That's what kind of makes me give it a lower score. But that being said, I think it's a great movie. I think you should see it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you like kind of the indie movie style.
It's definitely one of the better ones of the summer. This was at Sundance. I think it'll play a little more in the fall, and I think it might be up for some awards.
It has a chance, at least as far as, you know, Jason Segel's performance and stuff like that.
I hope he does more movies like this. I think he's a really good actor.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we're pretty high end of the tour. We got to go. We're Watch It or Don't. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check us out on Facebook and Twitter.